Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going to be reviewing a Silver Moira. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Okay, let's see how Gamebuster's doing.
I can't wait to get into the fight.
Attackers incoming.
Okay.
Stop the payload. Touch from afar.
Setting up here. A little bit of tap heal. Throw some damage in there. More tap heal than you need at the end there. But you're keeping your resources high, so it's fine. Not really going to be able to get D.Va out. Sure. Heal him up, heal him up. So that was right. Your tap heal has been very good. And now you're in this situation where you go, oh, I have a weak Junkrat, and they're about to push my Reinhardt. So you can absolutely afford a little bit of heavy heal here because your resource is in good spot. I actually would have stayed on the heavy heal here rather than gone for the right click. And if someone wants to throw something up in chat, that would be helpful. I'm worried that my chat is bugging out and I can't see it. So if someone wants to put something in chat, please do. And I'll check back in 30 seconds. And if it's not there, we may have to extrapolate and I'll pull from Discord or whatever.
Restoring you. Allow me to repair the damage.
Yeah, so he's in worse shape than we wanted. You're gonna end up fading this. Nope. Now you're gonna fade it. Fine. And that's life. You're just gonna go to card. Or you're gonna get out. Okay.
Get into position. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So we're not getting that chat-wise. And temporal restream, yes, chat is broken. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's see if I can do a refresh here without destroying it. I'm gonna hope that we can. There we go. There we go. We got chat back. Okay. Will Gamebuster get his own playlist? He could. He could. Best Moira skin. Forgot the orb. If we had Gamebuster playlist, we can watch him get better over time. Well, I think you'd mostly see him get better over time, and then he sort of stopped for a while, and you'd see a little bit of a dip, and now he's getting back better over time. But yes, yes, you definitely could. He's not Lucio, so you try to save him. Hey, Turbo. Damage Orb, yes. Damage Orb is very annoying for enemy Annas. Okay. She's the right person, but you can't afford to get cut. Yeah. So, I get it. I totally understand that you want her eliminated, but I don't have a real belief that this damage orb is going to finish her off because there's nothing to contain it and she's not weak enough yet. And I'm really hesitant to send my damage orb out there when I've sort of committed to to not getting reset at this point. Now, if you get reset, it's a really big deal. And you don't really have another method of self-sustain. Your methods of self-sustain are you steal health from people with right-click, or you throw your orb at your own feet. And I'm really hesitant to do this, this damage orb right here. I'm really hesitant to do this right now. I would want to have the sustain because it's about to paralyze you. Sure enough, you take some damage, and now you can't really do anything. You, at 38 health, don't have enough health to peak to try to get more health, nor do you have an orb to protect yourself. And this was sort of a predictable situation. That said, at least the baby D.Va did get eliminated. Hey, Semitic. We're back to the wave opens. Let's see how long that continues. I felt kind of safe. I had fade. Now you have fade, but even so, fade or not, like, you're not going to be getting health in any way here.
Injured again.
Sure. Good. Prefer healing orb to purple beam. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Hey, Crunch. Well, yes and no. Like, yes, there's a mega behind you, but you're not going to get this mega and then come back and us still be fighting over this cart. Like, this mega might as well be an eternity away with the cart, like, here-ish.
This will be.
Okay, we're trying to pocket him. Oh, you can bother the Anna a little bit. Their health is okay. I know that there's a critical over there, but their health is okay. Your Anna's over there. You can bother this Anna a little bit. That would be perfectly fine. That's not you being a full DPS Moira. Okay. You gonna bother there, Moira? No, you're gonna heal your spine. Your damage is a lot less relevant on the Roadhog, but Roadhog does at least give you good resources. Sure. Better. That was a little predictable. You've played a bit of Anna, you've seen plenty of Anna reviews. You know that one of the things that she's thinking about is, can I get myself a good purple? So the last thing you really want to do is stand on top of your sleeping Ryan and Anna. You sort of want to go, hey, let me create a little bit of separation. Let me think about this in such a way that you can't get a giant nade on all three of us. Yes, I'm nitpicking.
Destruction.
Blah wanted the Kamehameha fight. Okay.
You seem in need of aid.
I understand it, but I don't actually think there's a risk to force your fade here. I totally understand why you want to fade from cover to cover, but I don't think there's actually anything with the status of the fight to force you. I think you can slow walk this. You can slow walk this.
This will heal you.
Yeah. You want to orbit that?
No one
No.
can hide.
My will made real.
Okay, let's try and take over this next fight with Coalescence. Nah, don't let yourself drain on resource here. I mean, it's not a big deal because you're gonna try to Coalescence this fight, but...
Get into position.
Okay.
I am restored.
Okay. Let the hook come out. Let the hook come out. Do it. Do it. Coalescence. But there's such good options! Like, ugh. Here you are.
The pain.
You were waiting for something to come out because there's the sleep and the hook to worry about, and the hook has the more generous hitbox. So if the hook can come out, that really makes you happy. Now you have a tank in play. So you have a tank in play that you can downshift to, and you have a 200 HP hero that you can totally punish. You can totally get one or both of these guys, and then after you get one or both of them, just focus your tank. So like, yeah, we're gonna think about this. Oh, do you just go up too much? Is that why you don't do it? Let's take a look. You're going to decide that you're up too much. Fine. I just don't want you to sit on it forever, but okay. You thought you didn't need coal? Yeah, and I can understand that argument, but my actual concern is your diva is sort of in here alone. Like, she's sort of in here alone. This guy is back here. I would have in this case. I mean, if you look at the situation that you guys are in, sort of how you'll have your next ults, if you use Coalescence here, no problem. You're going to have 2 more ults for the next fight. I understand why you sat on it. I still would have said use it. It's a pretty cheap ult, and like, we're 3 minutes into the match and we haven't used it.
The pain.
Let me get within your cellular state.
Okay. Hey, Ryan. I'm not sure why you right-clicked him at all. You have full resource. You 100% are healing your diva here, not trying to damage the hog that is missing health, is relatively low health, but takes half damage, and you have full resource. You 100% are just fire hosing resource into your diva right now, at least first. Fire hose resources, yeah. And the orb is even better, yeah, because you need the health. Yeah.
60 seconds remaining.
I'm on my way.
Well, his wanting health takes the form of use the orb.
Get into position.
Okay, last fight, you have Coalescence, no problem. This is going to be a fast game. It's going to be over 6 minutes from now, because you're going to hold them on first. Yes, I am aware that is not what happens. Help him, even if it's throwing an orb. Coalescence, we're fine. Okay, wait, now that you haven't done it, we're not going to. Now we're going to, fine. Oh no, that's a mistake. This was fine. This was reasonable. This is a mistake. You can't beat him. You need to be thinking about cover. You can't beat him. No one else is shooting at him. You can't do this. You gotta be going, hey, is there anything I can hide behind? The answer is probably no, but you can't beat him with this. Ah, well. Okay. I tried in a quick play game to see how many codes I could use, and it was a lot. Yeah, it is. It is a fast building goal.
This will heal you.
Leave.
Allow me to repair the damage.
You can't be here. You need to be where Anna is. I just don't feel a need to fade into this. I can walk at this and still stop the card in time, and I'm not going to be able to save Diva, but okay. Point being, not going to be able to save Diva either way, but that's fine. Okay. Into the next point we go.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
When faced with a setback, we must challenge our assumptions.
Good. Good job maximizing cover there. Reasonable. No, I was okay continuing to pocket your Diva. Your Diva can take this fight and bully him a bit. I don't see a great reason to drop here. Yeah, you sort of forced your own fade to get back into this situation where you had the ability up here to heal your Diva, to heal your Reinhardt. If your Reinhardt got in trouble, you could have dropped, but like better to be on the high ground and transition to low ground than to transition to low ground and go, oops, I have to transition back to high ground. You fell.
Position.
Okay. Don't fall. Sure. Get her up a little higher. And now you have to get a little more conservative with your healing because you're getting low on resource. We were trying to get her up into armor range. It didn't happen, but we do need to let the hot do a little bit more of the work now.
I need to recharge.
Yeah.
Allow me.
So a couple things happened here.
Get into position.
Trying to get her back into armor range would be amazing because it would make Winston do like no damage to her, and that would let us ease up on resources. Doesn't quite happen. So we need to be watching for our orb to come back. We at this point need to let our hot do some of the work, even though she's fighting a Winston. We still won't lose her. If we really get in danger of losing her, we'll just mash what we have left. But let the hot do a little bit more work and use this orb immediately. And you do use the orb immediately. Good.
Allow me.
That's life. Just get some resource off of him. He already used Took. No. Oh, you fell again. Like, not really, but like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Allow me to repair the damage.
You can contain that orb better. This should not be a directly forward orb. This should be a bounced orb. This should not be directly forward. This should be more of a, I'm going to bounce it off this, and it'll go over here, and it'll be contained, and it'll get more of its healing done. If you look at this orb,
Allow me to repair.
that orb still got like 50% of its juice left. We could have easily had that down to 20 to 30% of its juice. We could have easily gotten another 50, 60, 70 points of healing out of that. It's bouncing on the wooden crates, sure, but by the time the situation is going to be so different by the time it gets back here. Like, I see. Oh, well. Okay, so here we go.
Allow me.
Time to raise my ATM.
Like, yeah, and it does bounce back, and that actually was really weird how the replay sort of glitched there, and it, like, super bounced. Here we go. That's fine.
Time to raise my ATM.
Fine. But you see how by the time it's back, everyone's already full health? And that's still got some value, yes. I really would have preferred to contain it. I really would have preferred to contain it a little bit. But yes, it does have some value in bouncing off the wood crates and coming back and being here for them pushing in again. The reason I'd have preferred to contain it is, you know, your Anna was over there healing other people up, etc. That, oh, well, maybe she could have found an offensive shot. Plus, it made a better deterrent of them coming in. Now it's sort of making a deterrent of them coming in. So, I'll live. Nobody needed it otherwise. Yeah, if they weren't full health, it would have slowed down. Yeah, I'm aware of how orb works. The replay, I don't know if you noticed, the replay had a little bit of a catch-up thing that happened. I'm talking about a very specific frame right here where it like paused and it stayed on the thing for a bit, and then it sort of teleported out to here. That's what I was talking about. Yes, the orb does go faster when people don't need it, but that's not specifically what I was referring to. Okay, so here we are.
I need to recharge.
Why are you not at the enemy backline? Oh, we're back to here. We're doing this. I mean, he just was in the enemy backline because he fell.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Maybe it'll do it again. Maybe it'll play normally this
Time
time.
to raise my ATM.
Yeah, that time it played normally where it did its speed up. But what I was talking about is it was here, it froze, and then it jumped to here. It was just a frame issue, I'm sure. Except that other things were moving. So, it was a replay thing. Okay. That helps. Should still be fine. Nothing to really get there. Why? So this is fine. Everyone's fine except Diva, so you're just going to apply right-click pressure to the shield until Diva's out of it. Why are you back here? Why are you back here?
Get into position.
Why are you using Fade? What? No. No, we're not fading into their back line. No, thank you. If we were playing full Talon Dive, we might fade into their back line, but we're not just fading into behind their tanks. No. We just wasted a ton of time here and forced our own fade. We absolutely wanted to just go, I guess I'll just keep applying pressure. I can look around for a moment, but my Anna's fine. My Diva's in the bubble. I'll just keep applying right-click pressure to the bubble. I'll heal Diva when she's out of it. If other people step out of it, so be it. There's no need for me to fade jump back here and play this. This is... No! Absolutely not. But I guess you listened to chat.
Surrender to my will.
because you want a Coalescence, but like this fight was won.
Allow me to repair the damage.
This fight was won more so than the first fight that we talked about Coalescence on. So like here you are.
Surrender to my will.
She's not a great Coalescence target unless you know she doesn't have Fade, but she's viable. She immediately has cover. Winston's gone. You'll stay on Winston, but you know this is exactly what we don't want on Coalescence, where we're having to swap targets a lot. And now you are going to swap to Moira, I hope. No, you're going to stay on the Winston. Yeah. That's not amazing.
Allow me to repair the damage.
You have to be quite aggressive. Guys! We're trying to make him better at Moira. We're not trying to... Back to you. Okay.
No one can hide.
Why are we here?
No one can hide.
We're trying to get Hog. We used our Fade and didn't go anywhere. And this is a problem.
Get into position.
Like, we do this. We do our Coalescence. Fine. We want to help with this. No problem. Great. Now you're going to finish him off? And you're worried because, oh shoot, I see Junkrat explosions, I'm going to fade. That's fine, but we have to always, and I know we've covered this before, we haven't covered it in a while, it's been a long time, but we have to always know where we're going to go if we hit the fade button. And you clearly didn't right now. This direction is safety, by the way. You clearly didn't have a plan for where to go with your fade because you did this. And this is like a Moira fading and ending up in the same spot. Generally not the right answer. Reaper wraithing and then ending up in the right spot. Almost always not the right answer. This isn't the right answer. This isn't where we want to be. We had plenty of time to get over here with our fade. And if we then still want to peek and pressure the Hog, so be it. But we should have gotten ourselves more out with this fade. No question.
No one can hide from my sight.
It wasn't though. Like it wasn't safe to. Like I get that you're scared of the Junkrat. Oh, let's go back further. I get that you're scared of the Junkrat, and then realize, oh wait, it's friendly, it's okay. But like the enemies actually are here, pressuring damage in this direction, and you've used Fade, so you don't want to end up here because now you don't have Fade. This might have been an okay place for you to live when you had Fade available. It's not now an okay place for you to live now that you don't have Fade available. And if you're thinking, no, it is an okay place to live when I had Fade available, okay, in that case, you weren't being aggressive enough when you had Fade available. And you potentially needed a more aggressive spot when you still had Fade available. That's not 100% true with Moira. Fade isn't exactly the same as, Moira isn't Reaper, but that is mostly true. And this... Take your pick here, but the reality is you used this Fade. This is now no longer a safe place. If you still had Fade, maybe you could justify being here, but now you can't. You had to go like here. You had to.
No one can hide.
Oh, Semitic.
This will improve your...
Again, like, this is just better for what we're trying to do, but I get it. I get it. By being here, you get a little bit more in terms of threat option, but you're also totally in the open. You can't control the angle closing. Just like we always talk about for hit scan, for other supports, hey, you want to be near the cover so you can control whether the angle's open or closed, so you can control whether the angle's open or closed. You got yourself pretty far from the cover here, so you don't have enough control over whether the angle's closed. Yes, you have Fade available, but why force it? Because you don't need 6 different options to right click off of to get damage off of. You need 1, basically. You just don't Fade in time.
was a flaw in my approach.
Where are you gonna play from? So you've faded in because you feel the need to catch up. I can live with that. Your tanks are here, but you have to now think, I don't have fade available. I don't even have healing orb available because my, it's out. So actually, that's probably either Moira's healing orb there. I don't have healing orb available. I don't have fade available. Where am I playing? Where can I play with some level of safety, at least to contribute to this fight, while still being able to go, hey, I can maybe get more aggressive once my fade is back? Can I play from here and still contribute? Maybe not. Maybe this isn't great. Can I go over here? Well, then it's just the Valking Mercy. That's not great, but it's something. It's better. At least I've got cart as available as cover. I've got stairs available as cover. This looks like a pretty comfy spot, relatively speaking. So let's see if we go there.
I'll rebuild you. 30 seconds
Okay.
remaining.
It's not amazing, but if you can keep your Reinhardt between you and Hogs,
Fades.
sure.
Heal me.
Okay. No. Your fade 100% is into here. 100%. You pre-planned this, that this was your fade. This was the, I need much increased safety, this is where I'm going. We don't go, oh, I'm fading back here because this isn't safe enough. We don't go, oh, I'm fading to stay here because if I leave, my tanks are going to get eliminated. We go, I'm actually going to get safety. Like, that's the thing that we do. Now, instead, he got it, but so be it. Like, we know this about Overwatch. We don't put our own life at serious amounts of risk, like we're sort of doing right now, to go, well, maybe I can eliminate Junkrat to help turn the fight, or to try to bail out our teammates in the majority of situations. We do preserve our own life. Talent agents get Fader Wraith form as part of their employee benefits with an employee stock scheme or dental plan. Okay, okay. I guess Widow didn't get that benefit. Did she lose it? What happened?
Get into position.
Mm-hmm.
Surrender to
Sure.
my will.
Good. Unfortunate. Good. And that was right. You recognized that your cooldowns were gone, so you're like, I'm going to play a little more defensive, a little more passive. I'm still contributing a little, and now as they're starting to come back, I can get a little more aggressive. Because, now they're a second away, 2 seconds away. That was better.
This will improve your condition.
She didn't get it because nobody likes her. Okay, so Game Buster, obviously we're going to go through round 2 here. The most interesting thing I'm seeing is that your resource use is much improved, like much improved. That was very good. I'm happy to see that. So very, very good, or maybe not even check plus, just plus. The next thing that I would get into though, in terms of areas for improvement that suggest themselves right now though, are going to be, I want that escape plan. I want you to always know what your escape plan is when you're Moira. That's just a thing that you have to do. You have to know, hey, if I get pressured, like it's always taking up some of my brain power to know where I'm going to go if I have to use Fade right now. And an escape plan is not a mega over here when the card is here. Like, I don't mean to pick on you too much, but like that's not real. So like we've always got to have our escape plan as Moira. Resource use is great, but we've always got to have our escape plan. And we should downshift a little. If we don't have Fade, our positioning should be more passive than if we do have Fade. Now there's times when it's like, well, I can't really get more aggressive because my team hasn't made the space for me to get more aggressive, and that's fine. But as a general rule, we can afford to be more aggressive when we have Fade than when we don't, so we shouldn't end up in the same spot when we don't have Fade. We want to be a little bit careful on some of these Fade ends. Fade ends are not strictly wrong, but they're like 80% of the time wrong. And this, I just did not like this whatsoever. Like, again, you can do a damage orb, fade in, coalescence. That's a play. That's a real play. But you put yourself in a position where I've used fade. I now have to use my coalescence. Like, I now have to, even if it doesn't make sense, which kind of sucks. So I'm not a huge fan. But let's keep going. Let's see what else reveals itself to be more or less important for upgrading your gameplay specifically.
Ready for battle.
Escape plan the backline. Oh my god, guys. Guys. Widow is an independent contractor. Is she independent? Isn't she like, you know, I don't think so. I don't think she's got, I think she has probably less ability to leave than some of the others, actually. She's kind of like, you know, yeah, anyway, if we go with pop culture references, she would be like the more modern Black Widows in the Black Widow movie. Widow traded in the fade benefits for wine, cheese, and fresh baguettes. Okay, okay. Or her heels keep giving away her position. That could be it. I'm pretty much a Genji main, and I think he's a decent spot right now. A little weak, but if you play with your team, kinda, it works. If you play with your team timing-wise, it sort of works. He's still not great. His skin nerf indirectly helped him, of course, by changing the relative power levels of the cast, but he's still not great. They could just fully revert the ult nerf that they gave him to try to pair with the fire speed, rate of fire change, etc., and he'd still not be remotely overpowered. Like, they should revert that 10% ult nerf, in fact. Should call be Nano Buster. There we go. Nano Buster. No, you're probably going to end up nanoing your Rhino or your Diva more often in this. Escape plan equals I sleep. Game plan equals sneaking into backline I carry.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Transform repairing the damage.
Okay, but I don't know how hard I want to pocket your Widow. I'm much more interested in the tanks right now. Okay. Yeah, like that Diva, I wonder what she's up to. Huh.
Get into position.
Wasn't really a need for that. You just kind of threw that out there. That's a full health Reinhardt.
Get into position. I pass this fort. I'm restoring.
Sure. Probably just right click. Yeah, that's fine. Why?
I'm restoring.
This is fine. I'm fine with this. It's not amazing. I really want to make sure that does get into the backline where it's going to be a little more scary to them because Reinhardt is going to get heals, but that's fine. But then I just want to right-click him. I clearly don't have a sightline on my Reinhardt. Like, I 100% don't, so I'm just going to hold right-click on their Reinhardt while I slide myself left until it breaks, and then I can heal my Reinhardt. I don't know what this is about. I can't heal people through walls. Okay. I can fade to join that. No problem. I can fade to join that. And then I scoot left. And then we go, hey, I guess I'm on Diva. And then we realize it's too hot. No problem. I really hope this is a healing orb. Okay.
My will made real. Fall back. Fall back.
Like, again, I view this as you using a damage orb here actually hurts your damage because it takes away from your ability to stay in the fight well to go do damage with right clicks. Like, I don't like this because I don't think you have enough health right now. Even with Fade coming back up, I don't think you have enough health to play the game, to let yourself go, hey, let me see if I can zap that soldier from the side, or hey, let me go up here and help my Junkrat out. I don't think you have enough health to use your right click to get more health. I would really prefer this be a healing orb. Narrator, it was not a healing orb. No, it was not. How did Anna get eliminated? Look at the feed. Okay. Fell in the water. She reset. Okay. Question about Moira Temp. A long time ago, she could heal through shields, but it was removed for being a bug, if I remember right. Bug, yes. Do you think she might have seen relevance if she could? We can check exactly what she did.
My will made real.
Was it Ariana or theirs? Oh, no, she just fell. She's just trying to peek behind cover to reload. This is just habitual. She's going behind cover to reload, and behind cover puts her off the edge. That's very likely what just happened here. So no, I don't think I think letting her heal through shields would be fine. I also think the nerf to her resource regeneration was stupid, and I think letting her heal through shields would be perfectly fine. But I don't think it would have been enough to make her meta without some of the other bans, etc., that have happened, or without, hey, I mean, she's sort of been pulled into metas by Talon Dive, and that's fine. That's a very specific way of playing the game, okay. And I don't mind her being good at that at all. I think her being able to heal through shields would have made her even stronger in that, and I don't think that would have bothered me. So I'd be fine if they reverted that, but it would not make her as flexible as, say, BAP. BAP is going to be a better general purpose hero than Moira is, and they're both pretty good tank healers, pretty good AoE healers. BAP is mostly just better. But yes, she does have a very specific niche in organized play. In lower level play, her specific niche is she just takes over the game because people can't hit her. Again, if you had more health, I'm going to expect you're going to get more up here, and you're going to put more pressure on this soldier. And I think that's worth more. That is worth more than whatever this is. You get a healing orb across? It's going to heal you a little on its way to heal both of them? Please? Please? Okay. Fading in. Where's our cover plan? Sure. No problem.
Touch from afar.
You have Fade. You have a plan to get out. What's your escape plan? Good.
I require assistance. This will heal you.
Didn't actually need that. Your Anna would have got you, but that's okay.
Much obliged.
Okay.
No one can hide from my sight.
Fine. Totally fine. Heal him a little. You're going to use the orb. That's fine. You're going to angle right to avoid the hog. No, you're going to keep the cart between you and hog. Okay. Probably flash another heal during this just to get the hot going. Like, again, I'm totally fine with the right-click pressure, but you don't do a ton of damage to his shield, so let's just flash a quick heal here to heal her up and to get the hot rolling on him. Not a big deal, but let's do that, because there's nothing useful to do right now. Cool, now back on hog. Life. You could have chosen to not get on hog until he got pressured hard enough by your tanks to get his hook out, but it didn't matter. Your Anna was clearly going to get eliminated regardless.
Push forward. This will restore
That just
you.
happens when you run Ana Moira, yeah. In theory, the Moira would focus more on the tanks, Ana would focus more on Soldier and Junkrat, but in reality, they're just going to mess with each other's ult charge.
Regenerating your cellular structure.
Ideally, we'd notice that Ana's really close to Nano, and we'd let her soak a little bit more here, but... Careful. I mean, you know he doesn't have hook, but... Probably a misclick. I imagine you meant for that to be damage. Fine. This is better than what you were doing at the beginning of the match. I liked your good tap heals at the beginning of the match, but this is actually even better. In terms of how you're mixing these. You're going to fade this? Yep. You're immediately back. It's fine.
This will restore you.
Didn't need that healing orb. Might have needed it here.
Surrender to my will.
Okay, your team's here. Unfortunate that you guys are using 4 of these at once.
This will restore you.
We wanted to wait until our team was here, which we've now done. We hear this, we see that going off. That's a remake, okay.
Surrender to my will.
It's unfortunate that we have all this happening at once. I'll just leave it at that. It bounces, no misclick. Yes, I know it bounces. I am aware that your healing orb bounces, but your desire was to go, hey, I'm going to send this back here so that it'll come back here because we might need it in the future. Like, if that's the case, I'd rather bounce it here where it's going to be contained for its entire duration and we'll get value as soon as it needs it. Like, we can literally play ping pong with it in here. But I'd have really just said throw a damage orb at them. Because if you're that healthy, throw the damage orb at them and just be like, hey, maybe this will bother an Ana back here type thing. But I like both of those options. Either bounce it here or send a damage orb more than I like send a healing orb with the belief that maybe we'll need it 3 seconds from now, 2 seconds from now, whatever. Aggro Coal, let's go. I like Aggro Coal. I like it less when we have 3 other ults going. Really unlucky to stack so many ults. Gamebuster was happy. So coming from Crunch. Gamebuster was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Gamebuster. He had been playing Moira for a few minutes and hadn't faded into the backline. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Gamebuster found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he faded into the enemy supports. The story's got to continue, right, Crunch? Okay. Temporal's voice doesn't just cut it. I tried! I tried a good storytelling voice there. Yeah.
I cast this force. Allow me.
I don't really think you needed to fade back, but okay. Could have walked.
The power of destruction.
That's kind of true. You can't beat Kevin right. Okay, fair.
Touch from afar.
Better fade, better escape plan. This is over, we leave. This is just a mistake. You thought, oh, I still need the health pack. You didn't. What you actually needed to do was fade yourself over here to get yourself more out, and then probably work yourself over here and just lurk here waiting for your team to cross. That's what you needed to do. You didn't realize that you were in fact full health and did not need to go back in time. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun play, James. Bait the shatter with Cole and then immediately go back out and get value out of it. It's a little tough because if you don't bait it, you've probably wasted almost 2 seconds of Cole, and some of the most valuable time in Cole is the beginning, but it's a fun play as long as you make it work.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Damage orb.
No one can hide from my sight.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like, it's almost a metaphysical certainty in my mind that your Reinhardt is going to take a bunch of damage, so I want a healing orb to train him. Yes, it's possible. They don't have a diva or anything, so, like, yes, it's possible he'll get eliminated, you won't get value out of it, but I think it's very likely that he's going to get some level of focus on him, and that healing is going to help him out a lot. So, I would send that right here. Even if you then go, hey, I'm going to turn and help this widow who says she needs healing, like the orb after your Reinhardt was what we wanted.
This will heal you.
Why did we fade?
Thank you.
Just to catch up?
This will heal you.
Yeah, but I probably didn't want to fade to here. As much as it messes with my widow's sights, I probably wanted to fade more to here. Maybe you're thinking the angle, but like there's no cover on the angle. This is so narrow, so narrow.
Gale the Mahal.
Oh, he totally deserved the healing orb. Okay, I'm glad you agree.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science. Shohei Mahal. I'm on my way.
I am unstoppable.
Fall back. Get into
Sure.
position.
Right idea.
Injured again. Fall back.
That needed to be angled harder.
Fall back.
I get what you're going for, but you needed to angle that even harder so it would go across your diva and then have a realistic chance of getting your Junkrat. Because you're not going to be able to go for your Junkrat. Please don't go for your Junkrat. Yeah. And now you're going to Coalescence.
Surrender to
Yep.
my will.
Okay, we didn't have it before.
Surrender to my will.
He's purple, you know he's purple, you know that your diva's been nated. Yeah, this is fair. And then you angle to get your Anna too. Valid. Immediate orb.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Okay, just go back to cover. Just go back to cover. You don't know where that is. Yeah. It's exactly where I expected it to be, but...
I'm under attack.
You fade up to catch up with that. You fade, you just stop your fade here and heal them. They're actually under pressure. Like, you need to be there.
This will heal you.
Okay, now you're into right click, use their bodies as your shield. They're still purple. Right click and use their bodies as your shield. You don't have max resources. They're purple. Like, we know how this works. We do. I want to heal them too, but we can't.
60 seconds.
Now we can heal.
Repairing the damage.
Slow on our tracking there. Yeah, that's just slow tracking. That's not a particularly well aimed orb. Unfortunate. You're only going to get one more team fight and it's going to be messy. Leech as much ult charge as you can out of this. Damage orb. Nope, not stagger. Don't stagger yourself. You want the damage orb. Maybe if I tried really hard, you could heal through the purple. Maybe.
must reflect upon
30
this.
seconds remaining.
We do not have time to
Touch
wait.
from afar.
Attack now.
I'm restoring you. This will heal you.
You don't need to lead the charge. They're going here.
I'm restoring you.
I get it. It's silver. You're worried if you don't touch, they won't touch. I do. I don't want you here.
This will
If
heal
you really want to fade to go join your Reinhardt, you can do it. But honestly, I'm pretty happy to just wait until my Reinhardt wants to be in a place I can heal him again. You do not have to be the one to touch, and if you are the one to touch, your team is not going to win. That fade, no.
10 seconds remaining.
Not yet.
Good. I don't care about your Junkrat anymore. No, I don't need to stay in here. I don't want to stay in here. Like, we need to push forward.
10 seconds
And my Rhine just
remaining.
shattered, and I really hope he hits something, because we need to be pushing forward, so I want to get
Not
more
yet.
aggressive. I don't want to back up. I don't want to throw a healing orb there. I want to throw a healing orb with forward momentum, because I know my team is going forward when we shattered. And really, you need to go tie up Soldier right now. Like, you don't have a... Your Diva's not going to tie up Soldier. Your Junkrat's in trouble. You kind of need to go, I hope Anna pockets me as I tie up to Soldier. Like, I'm going to use this, but, oof, okay. Yeah, there you go. Use the cover. Use the cover. Don't wander from your cover. You want to play tight on the cover so that you can make this rough on him.
My will made real.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. You get that health pack, you get Coalescence. You get Coalescence, Soldier gets eliminated. Soldier gets eliminated, Reinhardt gets eliminated. Reinhardt gets eliminated, who knows? But that's the game right there. Yeah. I'm not gonna like make one of your points go get health packs, just like I'm not gonna make one of your points don't fall down, but like that was an expensive health pack to not get with that fade. Yeah. Okay.
I'm on my way.
Okay, well
There
now
is
you
a
know about the
flaw in
Mega.
my approach. Allow me to repair the damage. I'm on my way.
Yeah. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's the game changer right there.
I require assistance.
Okay. Okay. So, first thing is going to be the escape plans. You gotta have those, and those escape plans can include health packs. They can. And then there's just a level of aggression that changes with our Fade usage as well, where we can play more aggressively when we don't have Fade. Again, that doesn't always mean in the enemy backline, but we can play a little more aggressively, a little more, hey, my Rhine's here. I'm here off angling a bit to like zap the enemy, can still heal my Rhine, whatever. You know, there's something resembling cover that I'm using, but I can play like that. And then, oh, I've lost a bunch of health, or oh, I've used my fade to leave. I'm not going to go back to this spot. I'm now going to play a little more passively where healing is sort of more my interest. I'm doing most of my siphoning, most of my health drain when I have fade available and when I have more than half health. I'm not doing a ton of it at 66% health. So this brings us to our second point, which our second point is going to be self-healing. And what I really mean by that is I want your self-healing to really be more of a, like, I want you to be more willing, like, I'd really get into orbs in general, and I want your orbs to be, when you're down sub 50% life, when you're at quarter life, when you're at things like that, use the self-healing orb, because it's going to help your ability to continue to contribute. If you heal yourself with the orb when your teammate can't immediately heal you, of course, if your Zen can just throw an orb on you, so be it. If your Anna can just hit a shot on you, so be it. If your Lucio is standing right there healing you, so be it. But, like, the general role is going to be The general rule is going to be if you need to heal yourself with your orb, please do it. Don't just go, I'm at 60 life, I'm at 70 life, and I'm going to go find a way to go get right click damage off. It's too dangerous and you'll get yourself eliminated. Feel free to use the healing orb on yourself and others, but on yourself to get yourself up to a more reasonable health so that you can charge resource, do damage, and continue to be pressure, continue to be in the fight, all those good things. So, like, be more willing to do that because it sort of creates a bit of a cycle that does a bit more for you. I'm also not as much of a fan when it comes to your orbs of your
Overtime.
I'm going to bounce it away and it'll be back and I might need it in the future. That's like oh yes, that is a thing that every once in a while will pay off dividends and will be helpful. It'll be like, I'm sure glad I invested that orb. I'd really rather contain your orbs more near you most of the time. Like, yes, you can send them there and have them come back, and maybe you'll need them when they come back, but I'd really most of the time rather contain your orbs more near you. Or go, hey, if no one needs this orb right now, it can be a damage orb. It's okay. It can be a damage orb. Now, it gets more complicated as you get better. It's going to turn into damage orbs on Sombras and Tracers in your backline as opposed to damage orbs over there. It's going to turn a little bit more into, hey, I'm right-clicking on these stairs. I'm right-clicking on these stairs while healing my team, right-clicking on these stairs. Let me pop up for a second, right-click the Anna for just a moment, and then damage orb her, and then back up over here and go back to healing my team and zapping their tanks. Like, it's going to get more into that. There's definitely more we can do there, but I'm not the biggest fan of these bouncing. They're not the worst thing in the world. They do have their place, but I'm not a huge fan. The actual third point, because what we've covered is a real thing, not just I'm kind of mad towards them, but a real thing on please use your healing orbs on yourself to get yourself to a place if you're not going to get heals that you can then do more with your right click because it keeps you in the game. We've covered have your escape plan. Seriously, know where you're going to go at all times if you use Fade, and the level of aggression that then continues based on whether you do or don't have Fade. Again, we want to keep you in a place where you can play somewhat aggressive. Not constant DPS in the backline, but somewhat aggressive. And that means healing yourself. That means knowing the difference of when you have Fade and don't have. And then the last thing I'm going to get to is you didn't really take over the game with Coalescence. Like, I don't hate your Coalescences, but you didn't really take over the game with Coalescence, and you could have. Like, I think it was Semitic that said it, and they're right. Like, you really can go, hey, I'm going to try to line up these fights. I'm going to try to organize these. I'd prefer a fresh fight to try to take over with Coalescence in most situations. That's not to say you can't ever save a fight, but you can do a lot to snowball these fights with Coalescence. And I'd like to see us looking harder for those, looking harder for, hey, let's take out the squishies, let's do that. It's not like, oh, there were a ton of opportunities, but that's because we didn't create the opportunities. It wasn't like, oh, you need to press Q right here and you're not, but we can do more to shift the table to create those opportunities. And that's where I'd start to go as sort of the third thing, because they weren't terrible coalescences other than this one. But if we want to carry the game, if we want to take over, if we want to reliably win, it's off the back of our coalescence. And I know we've covered that lots of times before. And again, other than this, the coalescences weren't bad. So that's good. But I want us to pull out our eagle eyes and look harder for those. But the first two things are very actionable from this game. And that's where I'd like your attention to go. And obviously, we can, don't fall down. Know where your health picks are. But like the actually actionable stuff is, hey, understanding I do have to have an escape plan. I do have to know where I'm going to go and be a little more willing to use the healing orb on yourself so that you can then keep in the fight with right click, with resource gain, with healing, as opposed to just playing very passive healing. Okay. What do I look for with Cole? How do I shift it? Okay. So how best to answer this? You start paying attention to what your ult charge percent is, and you start playing the game specifically a little more greedy or a little less greedy or a little more to survive in fights or a little more to let your tanks. You orchestrate fights a little bit more to get you from 80% ult charge to 100% ult charge before the fight happens or as the fight is starting type stuff. You do a little bit more of orchestrating. Sometimes that's going to be, hey, asking your Rhine to soak a little bit of damage intentionally. which, if he's in voice comms, he'll probably be willing to do. Other times, that's going to come down to coordinating with your other healer, Anna. Hey, let her get the nano for this, let you get the coalescence for this, don't rob each other's ult charge. But it's going to come down to paying attention to where your ult charge is, and if your ult is close, what can you do to force yourself to have it very early in the fight? Because your ult is going to be more useful sort of earlier in the fight, and sometimes all that's going to mean is screaming at your Reinhardt to swing like wild because you're at 70% ult charge, but you have a full bar of resource. And you're positive that you can just hard heal him down to here and keep him alive and then coalescence. Like, it's going to turn into that. Like, you were doing a really good job of keeping high level resource. That was great. You could have worked a little bit more damage in there. You were doing a lot of hot healing, and that was good. In the second half of the game, you worked in the damage too a bit more, or the pressure at least from the right click a little bit more. So that was good how high you were keeping your resource. But then you've got to go, when am I ready to cash this in to turn this into an ult, is what we're looking for. Sounds dangerous and fun. There you go. There you go. You got it. You got it. So you can yell like push, 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 hard push, full resource, something like that to try to get your Rhine or your Rhine and your Diva to sort of stack and fight and just feed you your ult while being very aggressive themselves. And they won't necessarily realize what they're doing is feeding you their ult, but you're sort of trying to orchestrate that with how the fight happens. And yeah, most of this stuff is going to get a little more comm reliant, a little more, hey, do you have your tanks in voice? Hey, can you communicate with your Anna in terms of who's healing what, etc.? Oh, she threw down a nade on the tanks for you, and now she's going to take offensive shots while you're spent down from 90% resource down to 20% resource. Beautiful. You just got 70% of your ult charge off that. Like, okay, that is kind of what we're looking at. Okay. I think that does it for you, Game Buster. If you have more questions, or if anyone has more questions, please let me know. You guys can throw those up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff. Let's catch up on questions here. So more ult charge focus, more self-heal orbs, and I want more awareness of where your escape plan is. Fades that end up in the exact same place you started, and you had a few of them, or very close to where you started, should be a very rare thing. Like, they really should. And jump off the bridge. How much of performance do you think is lost with bad sleep? How bad is the sleep? Sleep matters. Like, sleep matters, exercise matters, health matters, diet matters. Sleep matters more than a lot of those things in some ways, in a lot of ways, I'd say. And you might not notice that you're playing worse, but if you usually get 8 hours of sleep and you got 4 hours of sleep, or you got 4 hours of sleep and the night before you got 5 hours of sleep, you're not gonna play very well. Like, you're not. You're gonna be slow. Your reactions are gonna be dulled. Your processing power isn't gonna be as good. That said, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Don't be like, well, I didn't get exactly 9 hours of sleep, so I'm not going to play at all today, and don't do that 3 days in a row, and then whoops, it's been almost a week and you haven't played any Overwatch. Well, you're not getting better like that either. If someone has had a review already and been given things to work on, when would be the logical time to have the next review? Depends on the person. It can be after they feel like they've locked in one of the things that they were given to work on, two of the things they've been given to work on. It can be scheduled for once a week. It can be scheduled for until they feel they get stuck again. It can be scheduled, some people would schedule like every other day. Every other day, you're really going to struggle to, for most people anyways, are going to struggle to lock in stuff, but you can accelerate your improvement path a little bit like that. Is it the most cost efficient way to do it? No. The most cost efficient way would be to upgrade everything, but the most balancing from a time and cost efficient standpoint, it would be get 1 to 2 things sort of locked in or think they're locked in, and then come see me for another review. That would probably be the good balanced approach there. because what people needs to work on shifts as they upgrade some things. Like I might have given someone 3 points and the third point was relevant, but not as relevant as the first two. And by the time they get to the third point, um, a bigger issue in their gameplay may have opened up that would be more important for them to address. With lack of sleep, I'm too tired to get frustrated in game. Unexpected benefit. Okay. Semitic says it may not be ideal to play comp at 2 in the morning, half asleep. Yeah, you got to wait till 5 a.m. Okay. Parody asks Atlanta criminals who should be shot at dawn or heroes saving Al from itself with needed spice. I think Atlanta's playing a bit of a heel role is good for the league. I think a little bit of hey, make it interesting, make there be a little more in terms of rivalries, a little more in terms of BM, like Selfless, which is sort of Selfless has roots that sort of go to Atlanta with staff that Atlanta has picked up, players that Atlanta has had in the past. Part of what made them a popular team was they were the bad guys, etc. And if Atlanta wants to embrace that for real, and Owl, now that they've loosened up as a league from a commission standpoint and aren't as heavy with the fines or willing to be a little more okay, we'll play it not from like a totally Disney XD audience, more for like a sports audience. Yeah, I think that'll go well. I think that's probably good for the health of the league. This game was on lack of sleep. Okay. Thoughts on Kesta saying pro and semi-pro Overwatch has an Adderall problem? Custa's probably spent more time physically close to players than I have, so I'm going to defer to him a little on that one. I'm not. I've coached a bunch of contenders teams, but never in a team house. Um, so, like, I haven't long term had Owl or contenders players in front of me, whereas Custa would have lived with some of them. So I'd say probably has better insight into that. Um, Obviously, I know some of the problem, but I don't know, and I don't have a good enough feel of how widespread it is to really comment on that in a super educated way. The thing you said about obsessing over the 9-hour sleep mark and not playing because of it is very relatable. Not playing when sleep deprived decreases my sleep playtime by a huge margin. Well, you have to figure out what makes sense then, because 9, we're always told, oh, 9, but like most humans don't get 9 hours of sleep. We choose to do other things, or we prioritize other things in our life. And if you usually function with 7 to 8, and that's the level that you function at, so be it. You might do better if you did 9, but you're making decisions. Do I want to go do this thing, or do I want to go do this thing? And sleep could be this thing, and Overwatch could be this thing. That said, if you usually get 7 hours of sleep and you only got 4 hours of sleep or 4.5 hours of sleep, probably doesn't make sense. Not if climbing is really important to you. Not if you want to protect your SR. If you usually get 7 hours of sleep and you got 7 hours of sleep, great. So be it. Is it as good as having gotten the magic 9 or even 8? No, but, whatever. Finally, just got into plat for DPS. Is it logical to maybe get a review or wait and trying to climb first? Totally up to you. You could, of course, get benefit from a review. You absolutely could, but you might want to go, hey, I want to get less total reviews, and maybe you want to try to cap out first. Up to you. That said, by getting a review, I might help you clear some roadblocks that you then don't run into, and you just go smooth sailing until further ahead than you would have. Tough to know. Silver tanks actually play good tank lines now. I remember when I was in Silver and our tanks thought Diva Roadhog was a good idea. They still do plenty of the time. We review plenty of those. Used to think purple was a healing reduction. Tried to heal through it. Yeah, that doesn't work. I Top 3 stock picks? No, not going to do that right now. Bad tank combos happen in high plat 2, unfortunately. Yeah, they happen all over the place. They happen in GM too, guys. Not as often, but they do happen. I thought the BM was kind of funny. Yes, it is the most impactful role in the game, probably. And yes, a lot of people don't understand it. But a lot of people don't understand DPS either. They think it's all about uptime, or they think support is healing only, things like that. Okay. Can't even sleep for 9. I sleep about 8. That's fine. Then sleep for 8. No problem. 9 and over starts to become, for me, feeling like I slept a bit too long. Yeah. Climbed easier on my 29th percentile Rhine than my 90th percentile Orisa. I wouldn't worry about those too much. That's overbuff data and the like, and that's not the best thing in the world. Okay. Tank is a role you need to duo with another tank to really enjoy, in my opinion. I wonder what that means for Overwatch 2. It's almost like one of the best feelings in Overwatch, which is partnering up with your tank buddy, will be gone. That's one of the, difference makers, unique things, awesome synergy things. One of the identity pieces of Overwatch is going to be gone. Anyway, we'll ponder that. Okay. Hey, Little Link. Haven't seen you around. Good to have you here. You're walking in at the end of the stream, but if you have any questions, throw them up now. Okay, let's catch back up. I'll go back bit further back. Have you got your Moira Resource Club card to cash in any points towards a team fight win pass? There you go. Health pack locations is just something you memorize after time playing the game. Yeah, you can look at the maps too. You can literally walk through the maps and go find them all, but yeah. Mm-hmm. 1% to Coalescence. Yeah, that was painful. Okay. Okay, I think that's going to do it. Little Link says, oh yeah, this is my first stream. I recently found you and saw you do guides, and seeing as I'm a Moira main, I decided to watch. Well, we're just wrapping this one up, but that's okay. You can go back. It'll be here. I might change the title, might change the title card, thumbnail, whatever, but it'll be here at the same address, so you can definitely check it out. In Overwatch 2, you can have a feeling of pride and accomplishment as you win with an off-meta tank and all 4 teammates put you on their avoids list. There you go. I think that's a good one to end it on. Okay. I think that's going to do it. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. And with that, we'll call it here.